big game, big games.
Proper Barclays.
Super Sunday was a thing growing up for me. You'd hear Written in the Stars or similar songs, you'd see the lion on the trophy and you'd think, I'm going to watch a game here. And for one half, we watched the game. The second half, we'll get into that. The last minute or so, great. But of course, if you have no idea what I'm talking about the 2-2 draw between Manchester City and of course Arsenal at the Etihad. The battle of red and blue. Both teams managed to take away a little something. But let's get into it, man. If you weren't watching a watch along, you've probably missed out a lot of the stuff we have discussed. But because now the game's over, we've had some refreshments, we've had time to decompress, we've sorted our internal little testosterone. We can talk about the little intricacies of the game. Where should we start, gentlemen? Should we start with credit to Arsenal for that second half performance? Let's get into it.
I mean, for the second half.
Oh, for the first half,
You start.
I mean, I feel like the tone was set from the game with Rodri's injury. I felt like that just kind of set the tone off very early on. You saw Haaland. We were asking before the game, bro. We've seen, Gabriel and Saliba do a job on him the past couple of games. It's like, yo, we need this game for you to step up. And to be fair, started with the right energy. Good early goal as well. But I felt like that Rodri injury almost put Arsenal's tails up a little bit to be like, yo, this is someone who you could say, okay, they haven't had him at the start of the season, but we know how crucial he is to them. I thought that kind of gave Arsenal a bit of, pep in their step, if you like. And even after they conceded, it was like they weren't just sitting back and absorbing. They now have to come out and make it a game. And to be fair, I thought the first half was actually entertaining, in all honesty. I thought the second half, obviously, we'll talk about, was a whole... It's literally a game of two halves, in my opinion. I felt like the first half was actually living up to the billing. Arsenal obviously equalising. But then I feel like the red card just kind of turned everything on its head. And then we got a whole different game, basically.
Of course, first half, City go up. Savinho, assist, Haaland, goal. The first few games, or the last few games against Arsenal, just one shot. The last 3 games, first shot he got this time, great finish.
Yeah.
Then you get a situation where Calafuri was kind of at fault of that goal, kind of could have done better. Just an absolute screamer.
What a way to announce yourself.
Yep.
Put it that way. What is it? His first start coming in? I think before the game we were saying, yo, this is going to be a sink or swim, baptism of fire. We've seen it, but this is where you really get counted on, and that is a goal, hell of a goal to announce yourself with, you know what I mean? So fair play to him.
We spoke about...
I think Arsenal would have won the game. I think Arsenal would have won it, because you got to remember, before even the Gabriel header, Arsenal were better for the last 10 minutes of that moment. And I think going in at 2-1 with 11 men, Arsenal would have went on to win that game, man. I think so. They're solid defensively. They started the game a bit shaky, but they're solid defensively. I think they would have locked in. And you could see they locked in with 10 men, how hard it was. If they were locking in with 11 men, I know the game wouldn't have been exactly the same, but I think Arsenal were going to go on to win that game from 2-1. And then... No, I actually said it would be a draw. I thought City would get a draw. But looking at how hard it was to break Arsenal down, it makes me think that Arsenal would have actually went on to win that game. So Arsenal, even though they should be happy that they walked away 4 points from Spurs and City away. But I know the fans right now must be like, bro,
it's a kick in the teeth, bro.
It's dead. Do you know what I'm seeing though? Like, obviously, it's not been too long after the game. I went to do a little flick through socials and everything. I was looking, and there seems to be like interesting narratives building already. You have a lot of Arsenal fans saying, big City, big City, celebrating draws. That feels like a flip of where the two fan bases usually are. And maybe they're not kicking their teeth if it's not winning. They're kind of like, raw, now you know how it feels. Now we're in control a little bit. And I think you have to give context to where Arsenal were in this game. Depleted squad in terms of injuries. You don't have your captain. You get a red card, and you have to take off your best player in the second half for a tactical change. To walk away from the Etihad with a 2-2 draw, given all of them circumstances, is something that makes you realise, we've been saying for so long now, this Arsenal team are evolving, they're adapting, they're getting better, their mentality's growing. If no one was in doubt about that, you saw that today. Maybe City could have made it a bit more difficult with the substitutions, making those a bit earlier, but Arsenal were enjoying defending. You look at the goal that they score for the first goal, all of the allegations have been like, system, we don't take long shots. Calafuri looked up, whacked it into the goal. You look at the corner, just before Gabriel gets his head in it and we say he has to score. The same thing happens again. And that determination that he got with the goal where he just ran through everyone and just headed it is what Arsenal are now. They're willing to run through, die hard and do everything they need to do to get over the line. And I like the fact that when we came off air saying that felt like a proper Premier League game. It didn't feel like none of this huggy stuff. You've got Haaland telling players that have just made their Premier League debut, who the fuck are you and whatnot.
Yeah.
I like the fact that these two teams are saying, we are not friends. We will kill you to win the title. And that's what football should be. There's no time for all of this hugging on, good game.
What
Who wants it more?
We saw with City pool.
Who wants it more?
Yeah.
And that's what it's going to come down to. So, I mean, entertaining first half. The second half, we can go into the intricacies of
What did you lot make of the red card?
So, the Premier League have come out and said that the red card was due to him kicking the ball away. And this is where I have an issue with the way the Premier League's at the moment, because if you gave a red card for the run into the back, the second yellow, I can take that. I saw Gabriel get a red card at the Emirates against Arsenal for doing the same thing. They were 1-0 up. The issue is, when Doku does the same thing in the first half and you're talking about letter of the law and nothing happens to him, you then give a second yellow for a minor offence, in my opinion.
Is it similar scenario like Brighton where who was it that kicked the ball away and didn't get booked in the first half?
Oh yeah.
I don't think it was João Pedro, but I think it might have been João Pedro. Someone kicked the ball away, didn't get booked, and then second half, Declan Rice, they used the letter of the law.
Where Doku kind of kicked it, and there was already an Arsenal player there.
Yeah.
So it's kind of just like a...
Go get it.
The law is not interfere.
But did somebody try and grab the ball and Doku kicked it away from them?
I think who he fouled was just trying to pick up the ball and he just kind of kicked it away.
No, the
casually.
ball had stopped. The person standing there ready to do so, and you've kicked it. Even though it's a tame kick, you've kicked it. Same as Declan Rice.
But the thing is, even so, forget about the inconsistencies and stuff, which is, okay, obviously that's something that Arsenal fans should be... Is that not on Trossard? This is what I'm about to say.
No,
I mean, Trossard, like, if Trossard was in Declan Rice's position, where when Declan Rice did it, it's the first time, not first of its ever... In a way, it kind of is. I mean, Dallo got a weird red card in a way like that as well. But it's kind of, let's say it's the first of its kind, or the first of this season, and it happened to your teammate. Why are you doing it, bro? Why are you even making the referees have to make a decision? You're booked. You're on a yellow. Declan Rice got sent off for the exact same thing. We can talk about the refs, which I agree, there's inconsistencies there. But you got to look at Tross. It's the biggest game of the season at the moment. That's immature. That's silly.
And Declan Rice got a lot of criticism in that game for what seemed like, you didn't need to kick the ball away. And I'm like, with Trossard, same thing, bro. And especially because it's an even game of a bigger magnitude, you're the away team. You've got a backs against the wall job. You just make it harder for the rest of your team. And especially when you got a whole half to play as well.
Kyle Walker situation, obviously we had our thoughts in real time. Reflecting upon it now, his argument is, you called me out of position to talk to me and didn't give me enough time to go back. Is that a fair comment from him, or was he just caught lacking?
What, for the Gabriel goal?
Yes. No, for the... Yeah. No. For the Calafiori goal. So
why does the ref have to allow Kyle Walker to get back in position?
I'm sorry,
he's jogging back from where the free kick is taken all the way back to right back. We've all got to stand there and wait for Kyle Walker to get there.
The whole point of a quick free kick is that. It's to catch players out. No, but the whole point of the reason why you allow quick free kicks is to be able to give that advantage of catching players out of position. Bro, you were just caught lacking. And got caught lacking for both goals as well, in my opinion. So listen, he's got to hold his hands up. You can't do all of a sudden now, oh, listen, ref, man, you should have given me the benefit of the doubt. Stop it. You should have given yourself the benefit of the doubt.
Like, at this point, like, with Kyle Walker, I don't get... He's not in City's best team anymore, bro. Not in City, not in England.